Most people ignore abandoned luggage. A suitcase near a station, a dusty bag in storage, something forgotten by someone who never came back. But there was one suitcase that stayed untouched for years, locked, unclaimed, completely abandoned, and when authorities finally opened it, the discovery inside led to one of the strangest mysteries nobody could explain. The disturbing part wasn't only what they found, it was the fact that nobody ever came looking for it. In 1998, workers at a busy bus terminal noticed an old brown suitcase sitting inside a storage room. At first, nobody cared. Lost bags were common. Usually the owner returned after a few days. But this suitcase stayed there. Days passed, then months, then years. The leather became cracked. Dust covered the handle. Workers slowly stopped noticing it completely. New employees would ask about it sometimes, but nobody wanted to deal with the paperwork. So the suitcase remained untouched in the corner like it belonged there. Then strange things started happening. A worker closing the room late one night claimed he heard movement coming from inside the suitcase. Another employee said the air near it always felt colder. Most people laughed at those stories until a strange smell started appearing around the storage area. Not strong, just unusual, like wet paper mixed with metal. Maintenance crews searched the room for leaks or dead animals, but found nothing. By 2004, the terminal was being renovated. Old property needed to be removed. Workers finally dragged the suitcase into an inspection area, and immediately investigators noticed something strange. The locks had never been opened, not once. Authorities carefully examined the suitcase. On the lower corner of the leather, they noticed tiny scratches carved into the surface. "Don't open." Those words instantly changed the atmosphere in the room. Before we continue, take a second to like this video and subscribe to The Dark Brief, because stories like this only get darker the deeper you go. Investigators finally forced the locks open, and everyone stepped backward. Not because there was a body inside, because the suitcase was completely packed with papers. Thousands of pages, photographs, maps, journals, and sitting on top of everything was a cassette tape labeled with one sentence: "If found, do not play alone." Authorities started examining the contents carefully. Most of the journals belonged to a man named Leonard Vail. According to the writings, Leonard believed a stranger had been following him for nearly 20 years, not attacking him, not speaking to him, just watching him. Leonard claimed he saw the same man in airports, restaurants, train stations, even outside his mother's funeral. The stranger always wore a dark coat and never showed emotion. At first, investigators assumed Leonard suffered from paranoia, until they examined the photographs. Every photo showed ordinary public places, but hidden in the background of each image stood the same man, watching the camera. And the strangest part? The photos were taken across different years and different cities, but the man never appeared older. Same face, same expression, same dark coat. Investigators checked timestamps connected to the photos and discovered something disturbing. Many were taken shortly before deadly accidents. One picture showed a crowded restaurant days before a fire killed several people. Another showed a subway entrance hours before a deadly derailment. And in every image, the same man stood nearby. Then authorities finally played the cassette tape. A tired voice introduced himself as Leonard Vail. He explained that nobody believed his story, so he started documenting everything himself. According to Leonard, the mysterious man only appeared before terrible events happened. The longer the tape continued, the more frightened Leonard sounded. Then he said something investigators never forgot. If the suitcase stays abandoned, he leaves people alone. That sentence confused everyone at first, until detectives discovered a hidden compartment inside the suitcase containing newer documents, bus tickets, motel receipts, recent notes. Meaning Leonard had been alive much later than expected, and one final handwritten message changed the entire case. If someone opens this, it starts again. Investigators later noticed something disturbing. During the exact years the suitcase remained unopened, sightings of the mysterious man completely stopped. No reports, no photographs, nothing. But after authorities opened the suitcase, sightings allegedly returned. Security footage connected to later disasters reportedly showed a dark-coated man standing silently nearby, always watching. Internet forums eventually discovered parts of the story. People became obsessed with identifying the stranger from the photographs. Some believed he represented death, others thought the entire story was fake. But one detail disturbed almost everyone. Nobody could fully identify Leonard Vail. No confirmed records, no verified family. Almost like Leonard himself barely existed. Then one former investigator revealed a final detail during an anonymous interview online. According to him, authorities secretly took photographs during the inspection of the suitcase. In one image, investigators stood around the open case while papers covered the table. But in the reflection of a nearby window, a dark-coated man stood outside the room watching them. The problem? Security footage confirmed nobody was outside. The reflection shouldn't have existed. After that, several officers reportedly refused involvement with the case, and according to rumors, the suitcase itself later disappeared from evidence storage completely. No explanation, no records, just gone. Years later, a retired employee from the terminal finally agreed to speak publicly. He admitted there was one detail investigators never shared. According to him, security footage never showed anyone bringing the suitcase into the storage room. One camera frame showed the room empty. The next frame, the suitcase was suddenly there. No person entering, no owner visible, just an old brown suitcase appearing without explanation. And maybe the creepiest part of this entire story isn't the photographs, or the warnings carved into the leather, or even the possibility that opening the suitcase restarted something terrible. Maybe the creepiest part is this. Stories almost identical to this one continue appearing online even today. Abandoned luggage, strange men appearing in the background of photos, disasters happening shortly afterward, different places, different names, same pattern. So now imagine this carefully. If you discovered an old locked suitcase abandoned for years, would you open it? Or would you leave it exactly where it was? Comment your answer below, because some people believe curiosity is exactly how these stories continue. And if this mystery stayed in your mind, share this video with someone who loves dark, unexplained stories. Subscribe to The Dark Brief for more mysteries that blur the line between coincidence and something much darker.